Today we will see how to design your Sitecore website templates. What are the different template types we have, what are the fields, what are the sections, and how to use a different type of fields. Welcome to my channel, my Sitecore Diaries. I am Jitendra. I am a Sitecore architect from Mumbai. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icons to get a latest update. So let's start our topic today, that is defining templates for your website. So what are templates? Template defines the structure and the behavior of the items. So if you consider your normal .NET project, and in that you must be doing the table design or database design. So it is similar to that. In table design or a database design, you define what are the tables you require, what are the columns required in that tables, what is the length of that column, what type of a column it is, what is foreign key, what is primary key, what is the master data, what you stored in the master table. So all those kind of activities you are also doing it in the Sitecore, but we are doing it for the content. Okay, and there are some different terminology. Okay, so for our exercise, let's take an example. So assume that we want to build this page. Okay, so let's consider this wire format. So first thing which we will do as a Sitecore architect or a Sitecore developer, okay, that is the break down this page into the modules. Okay, if you remember the helix principle, first break down those into the modules. Okay, so if I break down this page into the different modules, you will have a header here, you will have a title here, and you have a hero banner, your feature information part, then you have a feature CTA, then if you see you have a footer. Okay, so now for our study purpose, we will pick only hero banner, feature information, and feature CTA. So we will consider feature CTA, feature information, and hero banner. Okay, so if you want to hold the information related to feature CTA, so this part, okay, where you have an image and this detail. So what is required for feature CTA? Okay, so first thing is an image. Okay, it will hold the image, then it will hold the title, then it will hold the short description, you have a button text, and the URL also. When you click on the button, it will go to the sub URL. Okay, so these are the information which is required for feature CTA. So what is required for a information part? So this part. Okay, so if you see here, you will need a title, then you have a short description there, then you have a button text. Okay, and then click of it will redirect to some other URL. Okay, and now to consider the banner, what is required here in the banner is an image, then you need a URL. If you click on it, it might go to the another, so that is the URL. Okay, so this is the information it holds. This is the first thing which we will find out. Okay, then if you observe, there are some information which is common, like short description, button text, URL, image. Okay, so if you distinguish it, if you separate out those, okay, then what will happen is, if you see, just take a image block. Okay, so in the image block you will have the image and the URL. Okay, then if you see the meta description or a meta block, where you will have a title, a short description. If you take a button, you have a button text and the post URL. Okay, so if you see, if these 6 fields are covering all these 3 information. So this is the second activity which you have to do. First of all, you find out all the break down the small models, find out what are the fields required, and then find out the distinct common fields. Okay, and so you will get like this. Now what happens in Sitecore is Sitecore supports the inheritance. Okay, so Sitecore support a multiple inheritance. So you can have one item can have a multiple, one template can have a multiple templates inherited. Okay, so if you consider that concept, and if I take the feature CTA, okay, and in that feature CTA, if I inherit image block, that is image URL and the image and the image URL. Okay, then if I consider the meta block, it will consider title and the short description. If I consider button block, it will consider button text and post URL. Okay, so this is how it will cover everything. Okay, so This is called a inheritance. Okay, so this is your template and you inherited these other three templates. So these are the three templates. This is basically, you can call it as a base template also. So this three template gets inherited into the feature CTF, which will cover all the things. Okay, now the another one was the feature information. Okay, now if you want a feature information, then if I consider meta block and button block, then it will cover everything. Okay, and hero banner, it is actually image block only. Okay, so this is how overall you will define a template. Okay, so first thing is break down you check the wireframes. Okay, and from the wireframes you break down all your modules. And okay, and for each module, see what are the templates required. For each template, what are the fields required. Then find out what are the common fields are there, and then from that common field you make out the common templates, and then you try to inherit those common template in the main template. That is how you should be designing your template. And I will recommend, for any project, any Sitecore project, you should document all those things before starting actually creation of the template. Now let's see how to create a template. Okay, so in the template section in content tree, if you right click of any of the folder, you will get this option. Okay, there you will have a insert new template. So once you click on new template, you can create a template, and in that creation of a template, you have a builder section where you can build the template. Okay, so for the building the template, you will need a section and you will need the fields. Okay, so section and fields will build your template. Now if you see the fields, you have a name, okay, which will specify the name of the field. Then you have a type is basically specifies what kind of a field it is. So it can be a single line text, it can be a multi-line text, it can be image, it can be rich text. So there are many types which we have. So you have to select that type. Okay, so again, if you go compare it with the SQL, you create your column and you give the column name and you select what type of that column is. Okay, then you have a source. Okay, source generally used as a data source, but depending on the data type. Okay, so what kind of a data type it is, its uses may change. Okay, and then section is basically used for grouping the same kind of a field. So if you have a same kind of what I mean by same kind is like you have a meta field, so you will have all the meta fields in the meta section. Okay, so you group those fields together. Okay, then there is something called version, unversion, and share field. If you say the last section, version, unversion, and share field. So what it is? Okay, so version field, in Sitecore you have an item which will have a two kind of a version. One is a language version and another is a number version. What is language version means? You can have a multiple languages for a single item. Okay, so like English Canada, you will have ENCA. For a French, you will have a FRCA, but the item will be same. It has a different language version. Similarly, you have a number version. Number version is something like you consider as a in the TFS or BSS or any repository, you have a versioning. Okay, similarly, you in Sitecore you have a versioning. You can create a number version. So same content, so you create a multiple number version so that you can go back to that old version also. So create a copy. Okay, so these are the two, language and the number version. Now what is a version field? It will have a different version in language and number. Okay, so by default all the fields are version. So if you add any field, it will be always a version field. So it will have a you can have a different values in the any number version and any languages. Okay, then you have a unversion field. So unversion field is basically which will have a same value in each language. So English will have a same value. Okay, but you can have sorry, I'm saying it wrongly. So unversion field, what we will have is you will have a different value in the each language. So English and Canada can have a different value, but the number version will have the same. So in English Canada you have 3 versions, so all 3 will have the same value. Then you have a shared field which is shared across the language version and number version. Let's take an example. What It's a bit confusing, so I'm trying to give you an example now. Okay, so say if you have a version field, unversion field, share field. Okay, so in version field you have a value 1 in number version. It can have a different value in the value 2. It can have a English. If you have value 1 in before, it can have a value 2. Okay, so basically English, if you have a English number 1, you will have value 1. Okay, if fr, you will have a value 2. In unversion English 1 word 2, basically a number version will have always the same value, value 1, value 2. Okay, but within the language it is different. Okay, whereas shared will have a same values. Okay, so this is how it will look. Okay, we will see a demo also of this one. Okay, this is also very important. Sitecore items are uniquely identified by their IDs, okay, not by the name. So you can have a duplicate names in the Sitecores. Okay, so basically when you are writing a code, if you want to compare, you cannot compare with you can compare with the name, but that's not a right practice or a correct practice. You have to compare with the item ID. Okay, this is, you can call it as a primary key or unique key in the Sitecode. Okay, let's see template types. Base template. Okay, so base template is basically it's something like which is common. Okay, which is a basic of your template. Okay, which can be used in the multiple places or multiple what is a template can use that. Okay, if you go to the definition with the Sitecore, it says that defines an interface for solution logic to work against. For example, defining the fields that are used by the module logic, or by simply being a template in the template inheritance or hierarchy of an item, can also be referred as a base template. So in simple term, base template is like a base classes. Okay, where you have a base class which you can use in the multiple classes. Similarly, you will have a base template, like you can create example, like you have a multiple pages, right? So for the pages, you can create a base template for a page which will hold the page related information, like page title and other things which are going to use in every page. So we will create that template. Okay, and then that inherited to all other templates. So that is called a base template. Then you have a page type template. Page type template is basically it makes your pages, okay, which will have the presentation detail, which will have the details about how the data can be presented to the user. So that presentation data will be there. Okay, so that is called a page template. Okay, that represents your pages. Then setting template, it is basically a lookup item for the fields which hold to configure the business logic. So basically a setting which can be configured, which can hold to it as a setting template. Data source, items from which templates are referred. Basically it holds the source of a data. Okay, so you can have a, like you have a master data, right, in this SQL. So that kind of a data. The difference is the page type and data source is simply the presentation layer. It doesn't have a presentation. Okay, so data source you don't render anywhere. Okay, you can't render that on the page. Okay, it is hold the reference data only. It is a data only template. Folder template, you want to add some folders, then you will have the folder template. Command template, these templates are used to insert item using logic. Okay, rather than a predefined structure. So we will have a separate video on this. Okay, similarly we will have a separate template on the separate video on the branch template also. So branch template, what it is, that these templates are used to create a set of items rather than a single item. So you will have a multiple item you can create using the branch template. It's demo time. So we will see how template inheritance is used, version, unversion, and share fields. So let us log into the site for now. I have logged into the CMS now. When you want to create a template, you have to go to the content editor. In content editor, you have a template section. Okay, so in the template section, you have a user defined folder. So generally, whatever the users are defining, okay, I mean the developers are building, that generally come in the user defined. Okay, here if I right click and then insert new template. So if I create a new template, it will create a new template. Okay, you have a builder section where you can build the your template. Okay, you can have a section and you can have a template. I already built few templates which I have given in the example. Let's check those one. Okay, so button block I have created. You have a data, you have text and button URL. I have given a single line text and general line text. Similarly, image block I have a image link. Okay, and the meta block I have this thing. Okay, so these three I have created. Now we are going to see the inheritance. Okay, as given in the example, we will be having feature CTA, feature information, and hero banner. Okay, so for feature city, if you see here is nothing is there, but if you go to the inheritance, you will find that it is inherited. Okay, uh, just a minute. Yeah, you see here button block, block, and meta block. So how does I have inherited that? Okay, so first you create a template feature CTA, and then you have to go to the, see there is a one section which is missing because I have not selected developer. So what I have to do is right click and then I create a developer, and you will get this builder option. Okay, so here you have a base template. So feature CTA base template, and you click on a base template. Okay, if you see here, you will get this section where you can add the inherited template. Okay, so in this say initially it will have only a standard template. Okay, because all the templates are inherited by default by the standard template. Okay, then you can select from here that what you want. So I have selected button block and then I added it to it. You want any other thing, then you can add like this. Okay, you want to remove it, you can remove like this. Okay, so similarly I have done for the feature information. Okay, and the hero banner. Okay, so let's see how this item looks like. For creation of a content, you have to go to the content and say I have a demo folder here, insert, and you can select from the template. Okay, so user define which template you want to select. Okay, say feature CTA and feature CTA, and then you insert it and it will create a new feature CTA. Okay, so I have already created here feature CTA, feature information, and meta block. So if I go to the feature CTA, you see here you field image field, you got the text field, you got the title field, button URL, image URL, short description. Okay, so all those are got inherited. Similarly for the feature information, you have a text, title, and button URL and short description. Meta block, you have a title and a short description. Okay, so this is how this is how the fields are getting inherited. So if you see that template, in the template you doesn't find anything, but all those fields are getting from the inherited template. So inherited section, if you go, you will have that data. Okay, I just come back to the inherited section in the feature CTF. You say builder inheritance. So you have a button block, image block, and meta block. So from this, those fields are getting whatever fields are here in the button block, image field, and meta block. Those fields are getting inherited for feature CTF. So even though you have not added anything, those fields are getting displayed in the item. Okay, so this is how inheritance is done. Now let's see the demo of a version. Okay, so what I have done for a version demo, I have created one template. Okay, and I have used three fields. One is a version field where I have not selected anything, so it's a version field. Then I have created an version field where I have selected the checkbox here. Okay, so that is selected. Okay, then you have a shared field, which is I have selected the shared. So from this template I have created the item. Okay, now this is the item from the version demo. Okay, where version field is a version, unversion field is the unversion field, shared field is the shared field. And then what I have done is I have created two versions, two number versions for the English language, and also I have created two versions. One is for the English region and another for the Canada. Now let's see what happens. Okay, I'm changing the value here. Okay, I have put the value as a PQR in the shared field. Okay, I'm saving it. Now let's see what is the value in the Canada version for the shared field. Okay, I've selected. If you see here PQR. Okay, and I have not changed here directly. Okay, then if I go to the second version here, okay, it is also PQR. If I select the one version, then it is also PQR. So basically, whichever language you say, like English, okay, it is second version, it is PQR. If I select first version, it is PQR. So it is common, it is shared. Okay. Now let me change the unversion field. Okay, I'm making it as a PQR again. Okay, I'm saving it. Let's see what happened here. Okay, English version only. I will go back to the Canada version. It is blank here. Okay, if I go to the first version, English Canada print version. So language, it is nothing is there. Let me go to the English one. It is here PQR. Let me go to the first version. If you see here, PQR is changed. Okay, so basically, if it is an unversion, it will change the same language, same multiple, whatever the number of English versions or sorry, number version you are having, everywhere it will change. Now, if I change the version in the version field, I change the text in the version field. So I'm making it PQR. I'm saving it. Let's see what is there in the second version. It's a value one. Okay, it was the old one. Okay, if I go to the Canada, it is blank. So initially also it was blank. Okay, and if you see here, it is also blank. So it is version. So every version you have to fill the value. Okay, so this is what we also seen in the when I was presenting that what is a version field, unversion field, shared field. Shared field is common across all the things. Unversion field common across the number, but will change across the language. Version field will be changed across the number version also and the language version also. Any question, you can email me on my email address. This is my LinkedIn ID. You can contact to me at my LinkedIn. If you like my video, then please click on like button. Please share it with your friends. If you have any feedback, please comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to get the latest update or latest videos. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.